Hello, let's do Wordle for Thursday, May 7th. Let's play. Yesterday we spun the wheel. It said to start with Xylil. And I did find that there was a bug in my wheel management software that added Xylil over 100 times onto the wheel. I have fixed it and adjusted the counts to be correct. And so we should not be getting Xylil like once a week anymore. All right, it's all great, which means we did learn two things very interesting. We learned that not as only is there not one Y, but there's also not two Ys. And also, we learned that not only is there not one L, but there's also not two L's. Also, the fact that there's no X in the word like really reduces the. So I mean, this is a really good start. We have some common letters left. S, T, R, N, E, and A would be good to get. I mean, stern really just kind of pops out of that. So to stare, I think I might just go for stare today. Let's try it. Hopefully it's not ER again. It's not ER again. It does end in E. So what are we doing to end in E? When you have one E, it's not a bad idea to guess two E's in your follow up. I saw the word mince, which actually uses some pretty common letters. So we could just go for that. Is there like a double E word that I might want to go for, or is that not a good idea right now? Hence. That's not a fence. Hence. Pence. Getting the P and the C is good. Getting the N is good. I'm going to try the double E strategy. Not double E today. All right. Still just an E at the end. Okay. So what is going before that E? I mean, is it going to be like one of those IE words or OE? I wouldn't mind getting some vowels at this point. Or is it like a OME type deal or OVE, like something along these lines, or an I, right? It's probably one of these. But what's left that I can like double consonant up? Or I could do like an OIE, like poise, but obviously there's no P or S, but something along those lines. Something like mouse, but there's no S. I kind of like the look of OE. I feel like there's going to be something, but I need to figure out what the first two letters are going to be. No R, no L. There is an H, but there's no S. We could do WH. We could maybe do GH. Probably not. Is that really it? With S gone, L gone, R gone. Is there like a WH something something E? There's while. There's wine. I'm not seeing other options. Wow, am I like really constrained at this point? I got to think of a different form, like maybe oh here, and then I mean it still kind of asks for two consonants in a row, and that seems harder there in that spot. Can I double a consonant up like FF or DDMM? Not looking good there. Are we a QU word? Because QU then has another vowel after it always, so that might be a good option. I mean, obviously, quote comes to mind, but T is gone. I don't think there's a QUO left. Quite. Again, want the T. Quiz with an E at the end. Quime, quibe, quive. Like quiver without the R. Quide. Guide. I finally found something. Guide. Okay, it's not guide, but we got a lot of letters, so we should be okay. Is it it's the udge trap? Oh no. All right, how many udge words do we have left? How did I not think of the udge trap until just now? All right. There's probably not much left. We used a lot of consonants, but there's still at least fudge and budge. But so what? I don't think the udge trap can repeat any letters. It would only be dudge because we already tried G at the front, but gudge isn't a word anyway. Okay. So not Q, W, fudge, judge, budge. There's 3. And I have no opportunity for a filler because I have to use the G and the D and the U and the E. So this is a gamble if I stay in hard mode. I am trying to rack my brain. I mean, I know they're repeating words now, but they tend not to, especially recent ones. So I think we could still use that information if I could think if fudge, judge, or budge has been the answer before. I have 0 confidence that I know that. Oh no. If only I thought of the one earlier, if I thought of the udge trap. Okay, well, for some reason judge is coming to mind as, or is fudge or judge coming to mind as being the answer before? Maybe. The problem is I play a ton of other games and sometimes like I guessed it in that, but it wasn't the answer, but I still internalize that as an answer. So I'm like 0.01% confident about anything, if at all. I don't know what to go for. So budge, fudge. I'm thinking doing budge first, and then it would be between fudge and judge. I mean, obviously I could do a filler. If I turn off hard mode, I could do a filler, but I don't really feel like doing that. My entire streak right now is I believe purely hard mode. Someone may correct me on that. Maybe some earlier on ones were not hard mode. Fudge is the one I am most confident has been the answer, for no good reason. Hey, look, it was budge. Okay, got a 5. Phew. I don't know if that was just luck or if I actually remembered correctly, but there we go. We've had like how many traps in a row? Like they're just trying to end everyone's streaks. They're like, let's start new streaks. All right. Well, I survived another day. Starting with Xylil on the udge trap is not the best idea either because it doesn't contain any of the udge trap letters. All right. Before we do anything else, let's spin the wheel, which does not have 100 Xylils on it anymore, and see what we're starting with tomorrow. It could still be Xylil. That would be hilarious. Kitty, suggested by Rosa Cole. So if you would like to follow along, tomorrow we will be starting with Kitty. All right, well, let's do some analysis then. In hard mode, the answer was budge. I started with Xylil. All right, I need to look up the proper calculator email that I got for Xylil. There it is. And there's an analysis for second guesses, stare, and trace. He guessed that I'd do stare. Okay. So it suggests going traps, strip, trips, ports, traps being the best. I need to remember all gray Xylil is traps, but anyway, I went stare, which, where is it in this list? Hold on. Stare. Oh, stare might lose on one of S blank EAR, SA blank ER, one of ATER, 2 of AER, up to 5 other ER words, 1 S blank OER, 2 of the ACE words, 1 of the ONT words, and might lose on different traps like Atch. Okay. So stare, not the greatest, but that's what I went. So with that E at the end, there's 62 words left, and I was provided the follow-up for that as well. Stare, okay. It says after stare, do binge. I like that. It helps prevent the udge trap, doesn't it? Nudge and budge. It gets nudge and budge. I did pence. Pence is actually, Pence is tied for first place. So it liked pence, actually. It's here too. All right. Now I don't have anything else. Okay, so interesting. 16 words left. I went guide. Guide was bad. So it's saying, hey, if you just get into the udge trap right now, and no later than right now, you'll be fine, right? You'll just take 3 guesses at most. On average, it'll take 2 more guesses. But if you don't, you better do something like biome. Biome is interesting because I don't know how that avoids the udge trap. Maybe it allows a follow-up guess because the O and the M would be gray and the I. So you'd still have B. You'd have something. I mean, obviously it gets budge. You'd still have fudge and judge left. Oh, so it's fine to do biome. It's fine to do anything with B in it because that still gets you budge. I guess there's just not something good with F in it still or J. Okay, that makes sense. So do budge or something with B in it, or do fudge or judge. I did guide, which is bad. Guide is not a good idea because now we are down to budge, fudge, judge, and the only thing we can do is just guess those. Or you could go nudge or pudge and have an even lower solve rate. But yeah, I got the 5, luckily. Let's see. So it does tails, I believe. Was that it? No, not tails. What was it? This is why I can't ever remember anything. Just in one traps, right? Oh yeah, so avoid the traps with all gray Xylo by guessing traps. Now that's all gray, and it had a follow up for that as well. Mince is actually best. That's still the top. Okay. Now after mince, we again are worried about the udge trap, and it says, hey, we'd better do the udge trap or something that starts with B or something that starts with F, or it has an F in it. So it could get a 4. Otherwise, we could get in a trap here, get it in 5 or 6. So really tough day today with the udge trap. Let's look at tails start. It's going to go drone. That gets the E at the end, and we have the D. We're concerned about the udge trap. We're just going to go right into it. We could get a 3. Otherwise, we could end up with a 6. All right. So it says just walk into the trap early enough that you can just have the guesses for it, and it'll average somewhere in the middle. All right. Steal, a little bit different. We're going to go Dane. And here it says, hey, it's the udge trap because we get the G. Just go through them, right? So anywhere from 3 to 6. Alrighty. Adieu is the most common starting word. We are, with that D, we're probably the udge trap. You probably should worry about it. Debut is interesting. That gets the budge word. Dunce. Apparently we're not all that concerned, but it does debut. And then from there it's budge because we hit the B. What if we did a word without a B, like dunce? Then we still have enough time to just do the 4 udge guesses. Got it. Budge, fudge, judge, pudge. Okay, don't really need to look at that. Audio also gets the D, and it has the UD in place, so almost certainly the udge trap is just going to go right into it. And so it could be actually as bad as 6 still. All right. Anywhere from 2 to 6. Did you get lucky or not? Stare start. With the E at the end, we're going to go bool. And now it's only budge because we got the B. If we went voil instead, I just want to see how it deals with the trap. Then we're going to go fence. That does check fudge, among other things. And now we have just enough guesses that we can do, pudge, judge, budge. So this is worst case of 6 here. If we go with the second best follow up, that doesn't get the B there. Trace tries to get in 2. We go slope. We don't get it in 2. Then we get hinge, and then we go budge. So 4 or maybe 5 or something. All right, and finally, clasp is what the official bot starts with. We go tired after clasp. And then endow. That's fun. With the ED yellow, we go endow. Now we're almost certainly the edge trap. Just walk into it. Right. If you know how many are left. Sometimes the best strategy to avoid losing to the trap is to see, oh, it could be this trap, but I have just enough guesses for it, so I better go into it right now. And sometimes that's the best option in hard mode. All right, let's see how many people are losing their streaks today. First, I'm going to grab this screenshot. I'd also like to look up which of the udges have been the answer before. I think that would be good to know. If you're going to gamble, you might as well gamble on one that hasn't been the answer, or at least one that hasn't been the answer recently. So let me just pull up a website that has that listed. Here we go. So if I search udge, judge has been the answer. Nudge has. So only judge and nudge, and then now budge. So my memory of judge, no, I thought fudge was. So I probably, if budge wasn't the answer, if it was fudge, I think I would have gone budge, judge, and lost. I was between judge and fudge, and I couldn't remember which one. But according to this site, we've only had the two, judge and nudge. So it's still a very dangerous trap, and you have to remember that. All right. Let's do the analysis now. All right, hard mode first. 95 skill. I didn't mind my guesses, I guess. Xylo gave a skill 12. Pretty good. All right. Stern is the most common follow-up, followed by stare. Then store, steam. No one remembered the traps follow-up. I'm not going to be starting with Xylo as often anymore, but when I do and it's all gray, which is common, I need to remember traps. All right. Pence is 88. I thought Pence was like tied for third with the other bot. Anyway, it liked Hinge, Mince, Nice. All right. Guide, it gave a 97, which is not a good idea because it knows about the trap. But it doesn't look ahead like that. It should have given a very low skill score to guide. It says just walk into the trap. There's only 3 left, right? And then budge was very lucky. All right. It goes clasp, toner, beige, budge. Gets that B still. Very lucky. 0.3 starting with budge. 2.5, 17.8, 53.3, big jump. 81.1. That's pretty low for turn 5. 95.4. Losing on the udge trap, of course. Ooh, losing on mudge. I don't even know what mudge is. Okay. Well, let's refresh and see what people are doing on the... Whoops, sorry. I'm doing the wrong thing here. Need to load this. Not my budget, just budge. All right. It gave me a very low skill score on non-hard mode. Wanted a filler, I'm sure. Xylo has a much higher skill, though, with 40. Stare is the most common here. Stern has dropped off. It's not even here. Oh, no, it's here. Never mind. Steam, Stern, Pizzazz. Yeah, some people go Xylo, Pizzazz. Trace, Stain, Train, Steer, Raise, Teams. All right. Pence gave a 75. 98 for Guide, because we could still do a filler. So here, this 0 skill is why it's so much lower in regular mode. Because it's like, dude, there's 3 left. Do a filler. But it didn't know I was playing hard mode. All right, Slate, Groin, Shrub, Budge. 0.5. Starting with Budge. 2.4, 15.2, 46.6. Already know it's lower. 76 is way lower, isn't it? 93.1. Losing on the edge trap, of course. All right, well, how'd you do?